Hello everyone, welcome to my review of Fire Emblem Engage. So this isn't scripted, I just have a few topics I want to go over, and I'll just let my thoughts come to me. 4 topics we're going to go over are plot, setting, character, and gameplay. I'll put all the game stuff in the gameplay section, like graphics and soundtrack as well. I don't want to waste all your time, so let's get started. The first half of this I'm going to go over all the categories and be spoiler free. In the second half I'll go over them again, but with spoilers, so I'll have a warning for that. So starting with plot. Trying to be spoiler free here. I think the plot overall is not the greatest in the world, to be quite honest. It starts out pretty standard in a boring way. There are some points in the story where, oh, that's a little interesting, oh, that's cool, but they're few and far between. Then by the very end of the story, things just get weird. I've heard people say, oh, the story gets better by the end, and I just don't think it does. I think it just gets weirder and kind of more stupid, to be honest. But I'll talk more about that in the spoiler section. Yeah, overall the plot is not great. For how many problems Three Houses plot had, I think that Three Houses was still better. Better executed anyway in that department. And obviously the best story is still Path of Radiance in my opinion. I mean, I haven't played all the old games, so I don't know, maybe if they make a Fire Emblem 4 remake, I'd play that and say that's the best plot, but who knows. Overall the plot of this game, not the greatest. It's not like offensively bad like Fate's. It's just pretty boring and kind of stupid. I'd say it's still better than Fate's, but I don't know if it would go much higher than that. Next, we're going to talk about the setting, the world itself. It's pretty standard, I would say. It's kind of like a Mario world. You have like the grassy world, and then you have the I don't even know what Brodia would be considered, like the rocky world, I don't know. And then you have the snowy world, and then you have the desert world, and then you have the lava world. So I mean, it's pretty standard overall, the setting, the world. I guess it's kind of cool that one of the land of the evil dragons sank into the ocean. I guess that's kind of cool. And I mean, I guess it's interesting that the land is like in a circle surrounding like the land of the dragons. I don't know. It's a world that was clearly made for a video game where you go around and do all the stuff. But it's not bad. I have no quarrels with the setting. I don't think there's anything bad about it. It's either average or slightly interesting at times. But other than that, not much to say about the setting. It will not shock you. Let me just tell you that. The next category is characters, and characters kind of tie in with the plot, but also, like, when I say characters, I mean like the characters like personalities and supports. I'm really focusing on supports a lot here. Obviously I haven't seen every single support in the game, and obviously you can glean a little bit of the characters during gameplay from their voice lines, their victory lines, their level up quotes, whatever, etc. And, you can talk to them when you're walking around the Somniel. I would say the characters, they're kind of bland, I would say. There are a few that shine out to me, like Yunaka. She's really good. She has a lot of interesting supports. She has an interesting backstory as well. Shame her design is so whack. But she's probably like the character with the most depth, I would say. Although it can be hard to explore that depth if you don't get like supports that actually do explore it. I don't know, maybe there's some secret hidden gem supports that I haven't seen, I don't know. Let me know down below if there are any supports that you thought were really good. But yeah, then you have like a character like Etier, who is just like, I'm the girl who likes to have muscles. That's my character. Everything I say really enforces that, because that's all I talk about. I don't have a real personality. It's like a Fate's character, they're just so gimmicky. And like so many characters talk about fucking tea, man, it's ridiculous. But anyway, so characters, like, there are a few that I like, a lot of them are just whatever. And, talking about supports, there are only a few that you can support, but But you know, I think there are some good choices there. I think there's something for everyone. And you know, if you don't want a romantic S support, you have that option too. I S supported Kagetsu, just so you know, and it was very sweet and wholesome, even though he is a bit of a weirdo. But damn, is he like the best unit in the game. Let me tell you. Always crits, never misses. Love to see it. Love to see it. Reminds me of the good old days of Rutger and FE6. Beautiful. And I guess you can't really talk about characters without talking about the character designs. All the girls have the same face. Don't look too closely or you'll be shocked. And like, a lot of the designs are really weird, I have to say. Salene's outfit is ridiculously absurd. I hate it. Even though it's like, it's not like bad, but it just looks so weird, especially like during like animations. And a lot of characters just have really weird like colors. They're just like colored really strangely. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with a lot of these designs. A lot of them are just like whack, kind of ugly. Some of them are like fine, like Kagetsu's fine, if you know, a bit standard. Louis is good. Who else is good? Diamant is like probably the best design in the game. He actually is dripped out. He looks awesome. Alchrist is pretty good. But yeah, other than that, like, you know, a lot of them are whack. A lot of them are fine. A lot of them are good. Some of them are good. But a lot of them are weird and weird and bad. But whatever. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's a mixed bag there for sure. I feel like they could have done a lot better with some of these designs, though. Like, I don't know who looked at them and said, "Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, all of them look good. Yeah, let's ship it and sell it." I don't know. So overall, characters, there's some good supports. A lot of them are pretty boring and gimmicky. There's some gimmicky characters. There's a handful of like actual good characters. And the designs are all over the place, really. So overall, you know, characters, I'm not feeling too strongly about that in this game either. You know, plot setting and characters, I have, you know, plot I think is kind of bad. Setting is okay. Character is fine. But where I think the game shines the most is with gameplay. That's really what you're probably gonna go away from the game feeling the most positive about gameplay. Probably, I don't know, maybe. I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but I know I did. So I'm gonna talk about the other game stuff in this category as well. Like, let's start with graphics. I think it looks really good. Like, I have some screenshots and, you know, clips that I saved from when I played through Houses so long ago now, on my Switch, and I was looking at those after I beat Engage, and I was like, man, 3 Houses is so ugly. Like, I didn't realize just how ugly it really is. God damn. 3 Houses has some rough-ass textures, let me tell you. But I think Engage is visually very good. Animations are great, you know. The backdrops to supports are, you know, I think some of them are still kind of like not that detailed, but they're much better than the weird like flat and stretched curved image like in 3 Houses, like whatever was going on with that. So yeah, I think the game looks good. Audio, you have sound effects. Sound effects are fine, they're pretty standard. One sound effect that's really funny to me is the corrupted like dying screech. Like, it just sounds so, like, funny. I don't know why. It's just funny to me. And then you have, like, the music, of course. I think the music is fine. It's certainly not as good as 3 Houses was. I don't think it's as good as Fates was either. And I don't think it was as good as Awakening. You know, so it's not as good as the modern Fire Emblem games. Wasn't as good as Echoes either. Maybe it's better than some of the old Fire Emblem games that had pretty standard music. But like, of the modern Fire Emblem games, I think the soundtrack is definitely the weakest. Like the motif, the Fire Emblem Engage motif, I think that's kind of not that great. Like, it's fine, but like, it's just like, just reminds me of the Goofy opening every time I hear it. Emblem Engage, you know. What I really liked about the soundtrack, though, was like the Paralogs will remake a song from an old Fire Emblem game put it in. I thought that was really cool. When I did Roy's Paralog, I was like, oh my god, it's this song that played a billion times that I hated in Fire Emblem 6, but it sounds pretty good here. Yeah. So, you know, soundtrack, it's fine. Really good in the Paralogs, but in the rest of the game, it's just, I think it's okay. It's okay. There's nothing bad about it. It's okay. As there's some maps where I'm like, this is pretty good, but overall it's just okay, and that's what I have to say about that. So I guess now we'll talk about gameplay, and this will be the last topic before we go into the spoiler section. Gameplay. I think the gameplay is pretty dang good. Three Houses had pretty, I don't know how to say it, like, gameplay. Like, I don't know, Three Houses was pretty standard compared to this. Obviously had like battalions, but I don't know if they added a whole lot to the game. They were just kind of confusing, to be honest. Weapons broke, which was annoying. And you know, you had the crests, but they didn't really add that much to the gameplay, I don't think. Emblems add a lot to the gameplay, actually. Especially emblems like Sigurd, who can travel across the whole map and do a ginormous attack on a bunch of enemies that are lined up. Like, that's insane. Ike just makes you invincible, and Great Ether's awesome. So there's a lot with the gameplay that's really good. The emblems add a lot. Some emblems more than others. Like, Leaf doesn't really add that much, I'll be honest. Sorry, Leaf fans. He was not the best emblem by far. And to compare it to Three Houses again, since, you know, that's the other Switch Fire Emblem, I think that this one had way better maps, but to be honest. Although some of them can get a bit annoying, but I think overall it had more unique maps, better maps. And, like, they weren't, like, amazing, don't get me wrong, they were just, like, good, you know. Oh yeah, another thing with the gameplay, the voice acting was pretty good, so I have no quarrels about that. And what else with the gameplay? Oh yeah, some bosses will have like a revival stone, so you have to kill them multiple times. I think that's pretty interesting. It makes bosses feel more tough, but I mean, when you if you like use like good units like Kagetsu, you can just one-shot an entire health bar anyway. So, you know, I mean, it adds some stuff, but at the end of the day, you can one-shot the last boss with like one unit and take an entire revival stone away if you you know, play your cards right. So overall, I think the gameplay was really fun. I had fun playing the game. One thing I don't really like about the gameplay is the Somniel, though. I think the Somniel could have been a whole lot better. I think they updated the game now and added stuff to it, but yeah, the Somniel was not great. So the Somniel basically is pointless, I feel. A lot of it is really pointless. I don't know if you can refine and engrave on the world map, but if you can't, then that's the only thing the Somniel's like useful for. Because you can use the item shop and the blacksmith, not the blacksmith, the armory on the world map. That's really all you need. Like, yeah, you can get some bond rings, but you don't need them. They just give you stat buffs. I mean, some of the S rank ones give you a unique ability, but again, you don't need them. The arena, you could say, oh, you'll miss out on a few levels throughout the game if you don't do the arena every time. And yeah, I did the arena every time, and yeah, you'd miss out on a few levels, but I don't know if you really need them. And they're wasted anyway if you know, use the arena on the unit that you think you'll use for the rest of the game, but then you replace later. Because the game has this funny thing where, this funny mechanic where every unit that you recruit is better than all your old units. Like, once you get Kagetsu, you can just throw everyone else away. You don't need them. Solo the game with Kagetsu, basically. I don't know if I hope that's not too spoilery, anyway. But yeah, the Somniel, I don't know, it's kind of pointless. I mean, you miss out on, like, minor advantages if you don't go to it, but I mean, that's basically it. Like, I think one thing that it could actually be useful for is doing the emblem training in the arena, just to give, you know, one of your units a very specific skill that will make them better, if you don't want to just put the emblem on them, you know. But other than that, not the most useful, and you get SP so slowly anyway. Like, it's like ridiculous, man. Like, just trying to put a put a specific skill on someone can be like not even possible because you might not have enough SP. The game needs to give more SP. I don't know why it gives so little, and it gives so little gold too. I don't know why. Like, how are you supposed to do the donations at all in the Somnial? You have no money. You're gonna have no money. You're not gonna be able to refine and engrave. Well, you don't need gold to engrave. You're not gonna be able to refine. You're not gonna be able to buy new weapons or master seals when they pop up in the shop. You know, it's gonna be ridiculous. Like, the game gives you money like what 4 times when you get some money from the nations. Like, Jesus, you need some more money here, you know? So, like, basically the gameplay cycle is do a map, go to the Somnial, do a map, go to the Somnial. And the Somnial, I don't like it very much. Doing the map is fun. Going to the Somnial is not very fun, because a lot of it is kind of pointless. Yeah, you can get a little stat buff from the cafe. Who cares? If you cook bad food, get a stat debuff. Why? That is so stupid. And like, you can go do push-ups, which are the hardest thing in the world for some reason. No, not the push-ups. The sit-ups are the one that's like really difficult for some reason. But you can go like do some push-ups to get 2 strength in the next battle on just Alear. Like, woo boy, whoop-de-doo. Alear's not that strong anyway. Like, what's the point? But, you know, maybe like if you're doing maddening mode, you need every little stat bonus you can get. I don't know. I played on hard mode, and I found the game mostly not that challenging. There are some parts where I'm like, well, that was BS, but there are some parts that were a little difficult, but overall, I think it was not too bad. I mean, you have the crystal, you can just go back in time, and you'll be fine, really. But yeah, gameplay. Overall, I think, like, the battle gameplay is really good. The Somnial gameplay is not very good, but like, I mean, I guess it can be a little relaxing to just walk around, dress your units up in like sunglasses, and you're like, oh yeah, we dripped out over here. So I see how it could be nice for some people, but it's just after like the 20th time going back to the Somnial, I'm just like, okay, I need to like, I'm not gonna pick up everything anymore. I'm just gonna go pick up my ingots from the 5 dogs I have on the farm and then call it a day. You know what I mean? So that's gameplay. I think it's overall really good. Definitely some parts that could be improved, but I think it's pretty dang fun. It's fun to play the game, which might be the only thing that you want in a game, and if it is, then this game might just be for you. So I'll do spoilers now. I'll put a time code on the screen that you can skip to if you want to avoid spoilers, and just get to the end where I give you my rating. So I'll try to make this quick. I don't want to... I've been recording for quite a while. I don't want to waste all your time today. Starting with plot spoilers, thought it was really, really funny when Marth said, "You're the 13th emblem, the Fire Emblem." I thought that was the funniest thing in the world. I laughed so hard at how stupid that sentence was. Then Alear's like, "I'm the 13th emblem? The Fire Emblem?" And I was like, oh my god. The 4 hounds, I really, really, really think that they're stupid. Like, Mavier's like the only normal one, but even then, I don't feel that bad for him. Like, dude. Like, he's like, I thought that maybe we were, like, doing the right thing, but we were bad guys. I'm so sorry, everybody. It's like, no shit, you were doing the wrong thing, dude. You killed an entire village and turned them into zombies. What are you talking about? Like, I don't feel bad for him at all. Marnie, I don't feel bad for her at all. I'm only mad that I didn't get to kill her myself, to be honest. Like, these people are crazy. I don't like why is the game trying to make me feel bad for them? You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't feel bad for them. They were assholes. And then Zephyr and Griss's death scene, which goes on for way too long, by the way. Like, how long does it take these people to die? Like, she's like, I only ever wanted a family. Well, why'd you kill Marnie then, you dope? What the hell do you mean you only wanted a family? And Griss is like, I only ever wanted a mother. You were like a mother to me. And I'm just like, this is stupid. This is stupid. This is trying to pull at your heartstrings. Don't let the game fool you. These people are crazy, they're evil, and you shouldn't feel bad for them, okay? Like, if you like Mavier, that's fine. He's fine. Vale's the only one where I can really, like, say, okay, I do feel a little bad for her because she was being brainwashed and controlled, but... And like in a lot of her support, she still feels responsible. And I was like, no, it's not your fault. She's like, yeah, but I still feel responsible. And that's good. I think that's good. So Vale is, like, good in that respect. Four Hounds, though, nah. I ain't feeling it. Mavier, like, he's pretty normal, so I can, like, say, oh, he's probably the best one. But still, he is not, like... He's not amazing like the game tries to fool you into thinking he is. He's not an amazing good guy, okay? But whatever. Other plot points that I thought were bizarre was Sombron, just like out of nowhere, he's like, I only want a reunion with my emblem, Zero Emblem. Like, who is Zero Emblem? Why should I care? This hasn't been built up at all. What is this exposition dump at the end of the game here? Am I supposed to feel bad for Sombron? I don't know. And then you kill him, and I guess he reunites with his emblem? Who cares? I don't care. Nobody cares. And then, you know, the rest of the game is pretty standard. One plot point I thought was, like, done well was Diamant and Alchrist's father, his death. Just because of, like, the unique dialogue you get when you fight him as Diamant and Alchrist. That's probably, like, the best dialogue in the game. It's really good. That actually, you know, tugs at your heart a little bit in a genuine way. So yeah, so that was good. Other than that, the story was pretty standard. And then there were some stupid parts, like I said. But setting, I don't know how much I can talk about spoiler-wise with the setting. Well, you know, here's one more plot thing first. When they go back in time, that shit made no sense. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Like, did they get transported back in time and they were in the past? I guess so. But how did the crystal transport all of them? I don't know. It was weird. But what really, like, makes no sense is the only reason Alir and Lumera meet because Alir in the future goes back in the past to destroy the crystal, and he just succeeds in destroying the crystal and knocks past Alir out, who then gets found by Lumera, setting you know, all these events in motion. But then, like, but why wasn't the crystal already broken then in the future? Like, I don't know. It makes it like it only appears broken when they actually go and break it. I don't know. It's weird. Time travel shit makes no sense a lot of the time. But I guess it was cool. It was kind of cool to just go back in the past, I guess. It's an interesting thing for, like, it's an interesting, like, gameplay point. But it kind of makes no sense. Anyway, setting, I don't know how much I can talk about setting. That's spoilery. I mean, the Fell Dragon Land, what's it called? Gradalon or something. Like, I guess, like, would be a spoiler setting. It's fine. Like, it's cool that it comes out from the ocean, I guess, but it doesn't really look that different, and it's not that unique to other endgame locations from Fire Emblem, so I don't know. Not a big deal. Setting-wise, so whatever, that's fine. Character, don't know how much spoilery stuff you can talk about with character. Alir becomes an emblem, which I thought was weird. I guess it's cool. Kind of weird though. Vale, big surprise, Vale was the evil girl in the cloak. I bet you didn't see that one coming from a mile. And big surprise, Vale is Alir's sister. I bet you didn't see that one coming from a mile away either. Big surprise, Alir is the Fell Dragon's son. I bet you didn't see that one coming from a mile away. Like, none of the character plot points were very surprising. I guess they were fine, though. Like, they get a story to be told, but they sure don't, like, surprise you and shock you. You're not gonna be shitting your pants over here or anything like that. I guess that would be it for character. Like, there's not very many spoilers that aren't related to the plot, so yeah. gameplay, like, how could I even give you spoilers on gameplay? Like, I don't know. Lynn is a really good emblem. Her ability to make clones is really good. Like, I don't know. What do you want from me here? So, I guess that's my review. Overall, I would probably give the game, like, I don't know, but on a bad day, if I was in a bad mood, I'd say 7 out of 10. If I'm in a good mood, I'd say 7.5 out of 10. The gameplay is fun. So, like, pros and cons. Let's do like the IGN thing, where we list the pros and cons at the very end. Even though a lot of the times the score next to those pros and cons doesn't make any sense. But anyway, pros would be gameplay. Gameplay in battles. Paralogs have remixed music from old games, which is really cool. It's very fan servicey in a lot of places. If you really like, if you're bat chesting about the old Fire Emblem characters, you're gonna be probably a little happy there. And there are some good characters. Cons would be like mediocre to stupid plot, gimmicky characters, and the Somniel kind of sucks. Those are like the big ones. And then there's some things that are kind of in the middle, like average setting. Most of the supports are just okay, and yeah, stuff like that. There are some good supports, of course. There's some bad supports. I mean, it's a mixed bag. A lot of the game is a mixed bag. Depending on who you choose as your party and who you get supports with, you probably have a different experience there. So just hope to God that you get lucky and you get some good supports. Otherwise, you're gonna be rolling your eyes at some of these. But anyway, I would still recommend, if you're a Fire Emblem fan, of course I'd recommend it anyway. I mean, you gotta play it. It's fun. If you're kind of on the fence on whether or not to buy it, I hope my video helped you decide. I would recommend it on gameplay alone, but if like gameplay doesn't matter that much to you, maybe you should be wary of getting it. Maybe get it on sale, if it ever goes on sale. You know, Nintendo games. If like a friend has it, you can borrow it from them when they're done with it. You know, stuff like that. If you're not interested in Fire Emblem at all, I don't know why you watched this video, but you're probably not gonna like the game, so there you go. Overall, I would recommend it, but it's certainly not the best Fire Emblem game. I don't think it's as good as Three Houses, which is the other Switch Fire Emblem game, although it does look better than Three Houses by a lot. There's my review. Let me know your thoughts on the game down below. Let me know what you disagree with. Let me know what you agree with. And I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video that I don't usually do. Thank you for watching. Fire Emblem Engage. Goodbye. Goodbye.